Thank you, Denise. Yes, here we are at the Foodology Lounge. Thank you for joining us, everybody. So I'm here today with our head chef, Di. Give everybody a wave.
Hello, everybody.
And with David, store manager from the north of Sheffield. Now, we only have 20 minutes to get a masterpiece prepared for you. So, Di, what are you preparing for us today?
Masterpiece, you set me up there already. Okay, so today what we're going to do a fantastic seasonal pie. So it's based on, the inspiration came from our turkey tikka crisps. So I'm going to do a turkey tikka pie, similar to like a pork pie. So you can eat it cold, but absolutely delicious. You can prepare everything ahead in advance. And also it's a fantastic way to use up leftovers that you have.
Fantastic, fantastic. And what kind of products are you going to be using today?
Everything here is available in a co-op. So a lot of these are own brand products. So for example, I've got a fantastic British chicken, all of our fresh veg, everything here is available in store. So I'll go through it and talk through it as we're preparing it and putting it together. But yeah, it's all available within co-op stores.
Brilliant. And if you were to do this as a vegetarian or vegan option, what would you change? What would you add in, take out?
Well, obviously you could just substitute the meat for any veg. Blitzed up mushrooms would be perfect for this, or you could even use vegetarian sausages. That would be the same thing. Just take the skin, squeeze them in.
Grow sausages that we sell.
Absolutely, yeah. Or the stuffing balls that we have available at Christmas time, the grow stuffing, they'd work perfectly for this.
That sounds absolutely fantastic. Right, we don't want to delay you much longer. We are under a tight time schedule, so I'll let you get started.
Right, okay, so the first thing is first. What I've got here is a loaf tin. So a standard loaf tin. What I've done is put some pastry in because we've only got 20 minutes. So I've made some pastry, I put this in. You can use store-bought shortcut pastry for this. You don't need to make your own pastry. You don't need to be a ninja or a pastry chef for this. The only thing that I will suggest is see this little bit of grease proof here? This is your friend, this is key. So this is enabled. So when it cooks, this is what you can get your pie out with.
I've made that mistake before.
Yeah, loads. I've made that mistake before, so this is why I remember. So that's there. So we're going to set that aside for the minute. Once that's lined, that's that job done. So what we're going to put here is some of our brilliant British chicken. So this is chicken thigh minced and some diced up chicken breast. You can use turkey if you want to keep this really, really, really seasonal. You can use your cooked turkey through this as well if you want to. It doesn't have to be raw. You can use cooked meat. So pick whatever you've got left from that massive bird that you have at Christmas. All right, we're just going to put that there, for example. Right, now, what I really want to do is get as much flavour as physically possible into this. So we're going with that turkey tikka, sweet, spicy theme here. So what I've got is some garlic and ginger. Garlic, ginger, and some red chilies and green chilies for heat. Again, you can make this as spicy or as mild as you want to by adding more or less of the chili. I've got some dried fruit. There's always dried fruit knocking around at Christmas time. So that's going to go in there. Here I've got some apricots, some sultanas, some dried cranberries are going in. Next, some garam masala and some curry powder.
I can smell that now.
I know. It's really
You can smell it
aroma.
straight away, yeah. I have some coriander, just chopped up. And now here I have some tikka paste and some mango chutney. So what that does is the tikka paste will provide lovely sweetness, spiciness, and then the mango chutney will be there again to reinforce that sweetness. Works brilliantly well with the chicken and the pastry. So we've got savoury, sweet, spicy, trying to tick off as many of those flavour markers as physically possible. Right, so that's all in there. So basically that is our pie filling done. So all we're going to do is just blend this all together or mix it all together.
I can see here as a store manager, even the smallest store that I've managed stocks all of these ingredients.
Yeah, that's good. There's a good mix here of fresh and ambient.
Yeah.
And hopefully some of these will be in your store cupboard anyway or in your kitchen. So what you're doing is just using up that jar of spice that's been sitting in the back of your cupboard.
We've had a question through, actually. Our first question of the afternoon.
Go easy on me. Go easy on me.
I'm sure this is one that you'll answer easily. Can this be prepared in an air fryer? I said it was easy. Didn't make any promises there.
If you have a tin big enough to put it in an air fryer, you absolutely could. Yes. Yeah. I don't see the reason. I don't see why you couldn't. But an oven is best for this one, purely because of the size of the loaf tin. You could do a flat round one if you have a flat round tray that fits in your air fryer drawer. You absolutely could, but I think for best results, I would say oven.
Yeah, yeah.
Air fryers
Perfect.
are becoming such a big thing now, but I've noticed that Co-op now, we're going to be adding air fryer cooking instructions on all of our products now, aren't we? I think certainly for the Christmas range. as
Yeah.
I read.
Yeah.
Certainly for party food, yeah, absolutely. It's an integral part. I mean, I'm going to hold my hand up here. I've got an air fryer and I use it religiously.
Yeah.
Because it's the ease of it, the less time to heat up. You're only heating up a small tray
Yeah,
rather
yeah.
than a big oven for what you're using.
And at the moment, that's energy efficiency is so important, isn't it? Not just for the environment, but for people's wallets as well in there. And yeah, air fryers are fantastic for that.
100%. Well, it's convenience as well, isn't it? And that's
Yeah.
part of what we do at Co-op, is
Yeah.
convenience. So if we can offer that.
Fantastic.
Right.
The smells are getting...
Yeah, I know. I know.
The
It
aroma
smells
is lovely,
delicious.
even with your,
Oh, wow.
before cooking.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm apologise for sticking my head in your bowl. there.
That's no problem at all. That's the beauty of food. Smell-o-vision is what we need to create. I don't know what these guys, if we can create smell-o-vision, yeah, I don't know. But. Okay, so this is where the leftovers part comes into this dish. So what I've got here, leftover roast potatoes, there's some leftover carrots, there's Brussels sprouts, the highest wasted vegetable at Christmas time. But these aren't cooked, these are raw. So I think sprouts are absolutely fantastic raw as part of a slaw or even slightly roasted or in a stir fry. So they come out at Christmas boiled with a little cross on the bottom, but they are so much more versatile than that. So what I'm going to do is on the bottom of this, I've got some stuffing that's been pre-made again from your Christmas dinner or from your Sunday roast. I'm going to put a layer of stuffing. Bear with me, I know stuffing and curry, you're thinking, what the heck is he doing? But it works, trust me. So we're going to put that on the bottom. And what that's going to do is not only provide a layer of flavour, but all of the juices that soak down, that stuffing is going to absorb. So it's going to be a super tasty layer on the bottom of that. And then simply we're going to put some of our filling in. So that goes straight in.
Oh wow, that really has been piled in, isn't it?
Yeah, because this is all going to shrink down when it cooks, so
Yeah.
we need to, you can be super generous with this filling.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, that does look good. So the amount of pies that you get, and you just want it bursting with the fillings in there, don't you? And it looks like absolutely fantastic. And you're right, the smell is beautiful.
Okay, now we're going to just put a layer of our veg in.
Yeah, yeah.
So you can see all of that freshness, all of that lovely veg, not wasting anything.
Fantastic.
So that's going to create hopefully a nice layer within that terrine when we cut it open. I say that now, hopefully, fingers crossed, right? And then we just pile some more mix on the top.
Wow. That's what I call a hearty pie.
Yeah.
Have you been preparing that one? Yeah, no, we prepared ahead of
That's
time.
my genuine reaction.
No, it does. It looks delicious. Absolutely delicious.
I know. I think this can be served cold as well as hot.
Yeah, that's the idea. I mean, if you can, once it comes out of the oven, if you can wait until it cools, then, I mean, it'll keep for 3-4 days in the fridge once you've made it. So I said you can prepare it ahead for a party. If you go into, I take this around my in-laws every New Year's Eve, and it goes down an absolute storm. So you can prepare it well in ahead.
I can
Keep
imagine.
getting invited back.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
And what do you normally serve it with? What would you put alongside it?
Just some chutney. I've got some mango chutney on the side, some fresh herbs, but I would put it as part of a buffet. So you can use some more Co-op products, all your own products to buff it out with, or to put with the cheese board, so they can have a slice of this, and then people can help themselves to cheese. So it's a really diverse eat in that sense. Okay, right now, so with this, now we're there, we're going to put the lid on it, and then I'm going to get you guys to do some decorations.
Oh no, that's where it all goes wrong.
Listen, this is it's your pie, right? So it's going to come out ugly. We're not looking for perfection. We're looking for rustic, hearty home cooking. So I'm just going to brush this with egg.
Yeah. Are you feeling confident about decorating our pie, Dave?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have a go.
Yeah.
Just wondering if you were doing it as vegan, what would you use instead of egg, just to seal your pastry?
Water.
Just water.
Yeah,
would
you
work,
could use
yeah.
some water, or a mix of flour and water.
Yeah.
Just to thicken that, you could use that.
That sounds great. Fantastic. Oh, and here we go.
The lid is going to go on, hopefully. I've rolled it out to the right thickness. There we go. So I'm just going to pinch this. As I said again, we're not looking for absolute perfection here. I want it to be rustic. I want it to feel home baked.
This is what I always struggle with whenever I try this. End up with tears across it.
Oh, we can patch this up. This is forgiving. So, and as I said, I don't like holes, lumps, bumps. It's all part of the charm. It's all part of cooking. Okay. Right. So we've got that done. I've just pinched the edges here just to make a seal around the outside so it doesn't burst. But you can see how...
Ooh, sorry, again.
Okay.
Carry on.
No problem at all. You can see how full that is. It looks like it's full, but obviously when all of that meat and filling cook, they shrink in size.
Yeah.
So you want to do is you want to have it filled to the brim at this stage so that then it's full when it's cooked.
Right.
If that makes any sense.
We've a question, Alex, Edward from Edward Clark. Any tips on making the gravy a bit more festive?
Making the gravy a bit more festive.
Yeah.
Lots of booze. Lots of booze. Madeira I would put in there, or just a really, really, really good red wine. If you really wanted to go down more of a festive flavour, you could put the same spices that you would use in mulled wine, for example. So a bit of clove, some cinnamon, some star anise. That would really give it a savoury lift as well as a Christmas feel.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's Christmas, right?
Could you use mulled wine then?
You can't. I'm going to take this off, and you can have the job. There we go. The job's yours. Yeah, you could use mulled wine in that, for example. Yeah,
They have those
100%.
flavourings in already.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Next time we will bring just you along.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't need me
It's
anymore.
making me think, that's all. Yeah.
Okay, right. So what we're going to do, we've got this beautiful canvas here. We're just going to make it look absolutely beautiful. So I've got these 2 bits of pastry here that I've just cut into ribbons. Dave, what I'm going to ask you to do
We'll swap over.
is...
He's dropped the pastry.
No,
Go on.
I'm going to join that there. What I'm
Yes.
looking for is like a ribbon. So one over there.
This
And
reminds
one
me of
over.
trying to plait my daughter's hair.
There we go. That's exactly what we're looking for.
I don't longer plait my daughter's hair. My daughter won't let me. Have a look.
Okay, right. So now we've got this pie here. The key element that we need is to let that steam out as it cooks. So we've got to put a hole in the top of it here, just to allow all of that steam to escape. Otherwise, it'll burst out the sides, or it'll find a way out of the pie.
Do I press it together at the end?
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I think you missed your call in here,
I think you
Dave.
have. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. You're looking for a change in
That looks
career.
amazing.
There we go. So I'm just going to egg wash the top. I've got a little bit of pastry that I've cut out here just to make that hole look a bit more artistic. Do you want to do another one for me there? Have you got the...
Go on, you have a
No,
go.
I'm gonna have
Alex.
a go,
on,
Alex. You go.
don't
There
be
we go.
bashful.
So we're pressing at the top.
Pressing at the top, and we're just going to loop it around as you would do a plait, or as you would just so over and under.
You might notice I've not really got the hair for plaits, so that might not be great, but let's see how we get on. There we go.
Right, now we've got this beautiful decoration. We're just going to lay it around the pie. You can do whatever you want to with this. It doesn't have to be the plaits. It can be, I've got some leaves here. Leaves here. We're just going to score these.
A holly leaf, I suppose.
You could do a holly leaf.
Yeah.
If you've got a cookie cutter, you could cut out Christmas trees, or you can cut out whatever shape you want to. But as I said, this pie, it's just not for Christmas. It's for all year round for me as well. So
Yeah.
stunning.
Stunning. Mine is stunning.
Stunning.
Yours was only beautiful.
Okay, so as you said, we're just going to layer these down, and then I'm going to take this one and put it here. As I said, this is purely up to you how you want to decorate this or how you want to make it. And then all we're going to do is brush the top with some egg. And what that's going to do is give a beautiful golden colour as it cooks.
That's looking fantastic.
Well, it's your work. It's your work.
Well, I don't like to take praise, but okay.
Right, and there we have it. So then this pie is ready. You either can keep it like this if you don't want to cook it straight away, and you can take it to a relative's and bake it there and they can eat it fresh, or you can bake it off. As I said, it'll keep in the fridge for a few days, and then you can just bring it out and slice it whenever you need. So this goes into a preheated oven, 180 degrees, for around about an hour, I would say.
Is that all? Right, cool.
Yeah, or until the internal temperature reaches over 70. I mean, that's the key point, depending on how big your tray is or how much you've filled it.
Yeah,
It's a guarantee. But because you've got a nice little hole here, you can put a thermometer in there. But yeah, anything.
Well, that's reasonable. You could take that to a party, put it in the oven. You're not waiting a ridiculous amount of time.
No,
Yeah.
no, not at all. No, not at all. Not at all. Right, and in true Blue Peter style.
Is this a
Here
big
is
reveal?
here is one. Yeah, here is one that we have made, that we've made
Wow.
earlier. So you
Wow.
can see it's rustic. It's brown. It's golden.
I do love it when you get the brown edges. Obviously, you can tell it's full of the filling.
I have a question here from Linda. Is the pastry wholemeal? And if not, what kind is it?
You can use wholemeal, yeah, absolutely. You can use any flour within this. So basically, the pastry recipe is half the amount of butter to flour, and then 2 eggs. But you can put any ingredients in there at all. For this one, you see it's slightly yellow. I've put some curry powder in the pastry. But you can use wholemeal flour. You can put anything, any inclusions that you want in there. You could even run herbs through the pastry if you wanted to, or have.
Will that add to the flavour much, or is that more decorative?
It'll add to it's all about layering flavour. So I look at the way that I look about food is that if you can get flavour into any sort of layer or throughout the cooking process, then you're going to end up with something that's delicious. So if you take your dish apart and think, how can I get the most flavour into each element, and you can't really go wrong.
That sounds like a really good tip. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You're going to carve this up, aren't you?
Yes. And I don't know why I'm nervous. I've not cooked into this yet, so we'll see. Hopefully.
Fantastic. Well, while you're carving that up,
Yeah.
I think we need to talk a little bit about some of the fantastic membership benefits that we've been seeing this year, and we really should talk about the biggest member pricing.
Yeah.
I mean, member pricing has been fantastic, hasn't it, this year? Done a huge drive on it over the summer. Really good prices on those essential products from every Co-op store. But of course, as a store manager, you've been at the forefront of this initiative. How's it gone down?
I think it's fair to say that it's something that has just been a win-win all the way around, is member pricing. It's something that store managers love, the teams love, and the customers are definitely loving it. What we're finding now, since member prices have come out, we're not really having to sell membership. Membership sells itself, and our sales of member cards and new enrolments has just absolutely flown. So that's been a big improvement for us, and it's great to see. And once we're getting those new members in, the other thing that it's doing is it's helping to retain and keep members active. So we've got the POS around the store with the little blue labels. So many of our customers, I guess all the people watching today are customers, but the little blue labels are enabling people to see where they're missing out if they're not a member, if they've not been swiping. And that's really added some great value to us. And then when we backed that up with some really big member deals, so for recently we changed the, that's looking great down there. We have reviewed our wine ranges, and when you go into store now, you'll find that the wines have all been grouped by types of wine, so Chardonnay, Pinot, etc., which makes it easier to see your choice, find your favourite wine. But to launch that, we did buy 3 bottles of wine, get a £5 off for a member, and that was definitely so well received. I think that weekend I had a record number of new member sign-ups. So yeah, it's definitely something that's worked really well.
Yeah, I do have a question that has come through for Di.
Absolutely.
You thought you'd escaped now.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I thought that was me over here.
Could you use puff pastry?
Yes, absolutely. You could use any pastry whatsoever for this. If you're going to use puff pastry, you would just adjust your cooking times slightly. But yeah, absolutely. You can use whichever pastry you want. You could use a gluten-free pastry if you needed to. So, yeah, any pastry is good for this.
Fantastic, fantastic. I've got to say, it's looking spectacular, isn't it? I used the word masterpiece before. It is exactly that. I can't wait to tuck into this.
Well, I was going to say, Alex, so obviously you wrote me into this, but I hadn't actually seen you so much recently because you've moved on. You used to be my member pioneer, working with me in Sheffield in Uterbridge and Stocksbridge, but you've moved on to bigger and better things. So what is it you're actually doing now?
That's the kind way of putting it, isn't it? Yes. I'm still with the member pioneer team. I'm a coordinator, which means I support member pioneers in the Sheffield, Rotherham and North Midlands area. And the member pioneer team, they're fantastic. They're the boots on the ground connection to communities, to local causes, to charities. And, don't forget, when you swipe your card, almost like we had them ready, when you swipe your card, 2 pence out of every £1 on selected products goes to yourself. And then, of course, 2 pence goes to supporting your local communities. So make sure you are swiping, particularly over Christmas, and we can add into those local community funds and obviously our partner charities as well in there. And Bernardo's
Yes, Bernardo's. So it's our charity partner of the year. It's been, I think, a really successful charity partnership. It's one where I think the name Bernardo's is well known by the public, so it's not one we've had to sell. It's a popular cause. I think the updates we've had from my area managers were well on target for the targets we set ourselves for fundraising.
£5 million?
Yeah, £5 million. I think it's just now it's sort of mostly it's going to be our Christmas raffles. Yeah. So I know my team, one of my team leaders is going around the area. We're getting donations from the local businesses. So we'll get a free pizza, a free haircut from the local businesses, and we do our own hamper full of truly irresistible products. And we're hoping to raise a good few £100 from that last raffle.
Absolutely sounds fantastic. And I will pop down to your store. Oh, nearly. And I'll help you out with all the fundraising. This is looking absolutely delicious. Dave can't wait to get in there. Thank you, Di. This has been absolutely amazing.
No, it's an absolute pleasure.
And, oh, there he goes. There he goes. Straight in there. Thank you, Dave. It's been great to have you here and to talk through what we can see in stores and our partnerships. And I think all that's left to say is thank you to everybody for joining us today. I'm going to talk into this, so I'm going to stop talking now. Back to you, Denise.